skip it. See it or skip it. See it or skip it.
Welcome, everybody, to the spoiler review of Superman. We're going to be going through all of the details and talking about what we liked, what we didn't like, and what maybe just, I don't know. There's no other options after those two. Let's talk about it.
Okay, I have one disappointment.
Okay.
That kaiju wasn't Jimmy Olsen. I was convinced. I was convinced that kaiju was going to be Jimmy Olsen, because if Jimmy Olsen's going to do one thing, it's drink an elixir and turn into something.
Jimmy has been turned into a porcupine. He's been turned into a turtle.
Yeah.
I'm numerous other things.
And apparently turned into a handsome guy that people desire.
Do you guys
I love
watch,
that.
you guys watch Lower Decks? Lower Decks, anybody? Okay, never mind. That one's just for me.
No, for the audience.
Okay,
watch it.
Okay, if you're a Star Trek Lower Decks fan, Boimler, voiced by Jack Quaid, the lead character, very focused on Starfleet, very, again, my type, Boy Scout, focused on Starfleet. He draws the attention of women, and women love him, and he's like, no, I'm so focused on Starfleet that I can't even be bothered with all the women who are hounding me. That was Jimmy Olsen.
Or Xander, or Joss Whedon's replacement. It was the nerd, like, hey, I'm James Gunn, and here's my self-insert.
All right, Kim, this is your time to shine. We got to talk. I know what it is. The canon changed where Jor-El is suddenly now Zod.
It's funny that people rip on Snyder for changing some canon, but they're like, but this is okay. We're going to take the Invincible plot and the Birthright plot and throw it in here, and that's okay. I'm like, well, okay, develop it. Tracy,
It would
like
be
what you
okay
said.
with me if they didn't completely try to resolve it at the end when Lex was found out to have been orchestrating the war. That has nothing to do with the truth that comes out about Superman.
Yeah.
So for the world to be like, and we forgive him, it was like, really?
Yeah,
I think half of you should probably
Once
be
that is
terrified.
released into the infosphere, you're never, ever coming back from that.
But I could see a lot of people going, that was a really bad billionaire who was manipulating us. We're not going to believe him.
No way.
Some.
I will never lose interest in dinosaurs.
He's noble. He's noble. I agree with Tracy.
I'm hopeful that people in Metropolis are like, you know what? That Luthor dude,
actually,
he's a bad
billionaires are
man.
bad.
Well, truly, everyone has such short-term memory loss. They're like, what's next?
Well, and let's talk about the no-kill thing that was happening with this. He makes lots of efforts to save as many things as possible, but he will still allow Hawkgirl to murder the leader of a country at the end of the movie.
In the movie,
And he sent her.
The movie, in its positive way, is a comic book. It's a cartoon where he is laser blasting everybody. They're dead. But the movie's
One
like
of those guys. He
They're
had to
like,
have
no,
gotten
they're
someone
alive
out.
because, guys,
Blinded.
it's a
If the
comic
suit
book.
malfunction.
Well, it is the whole reason why, like in Age of Ultron, they have introduced robots and aliens instead
Right.
of people, because we as humans can't sit and watch someone kill hundreds and hundreds of humans,
Yeah.
but we can watch someone kill hundreds and hundreds of robots.
There's one scene of Nicholas Hoult that I liked, and it's actually his darkest scene, and it's where he took
revolver
out
scene.
the one guy, and I was all, wow,
I loved it.
There you go.
Because it still subverted expectations by making the second shot actually be the shot.
Yeah.
And him going, all right,
That went faster
I
than
will be back
expected.
with more.
like it's they let a villain be a villain.
Have you guys watched The Great on Hulu?
Yes, he's very comedic.
He's very comedic, but he's also good at just being an asshole.
Yeah.
Pettiness you felt
Yeah.
in every scene he was at. He was so angry, oozing with envy and jealousy. Perfect
Well,
casting.
he gives that great monologue at the end about how he is full of envy. And when he auditioned for Superman. And who else to play a perfect Lex Luthor than someone
that
who
wants to
lost
be.
the role
Yeah.
of
And
Superman?
From all accounts, he is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Oh, for
in all
sure.
the
I
interviews,
met him,
he's
not a
great.
fan.
But I love the fact that you have this guy who is so consumed with Superman. And Superman even calls him out on it. He's like, your obsession with me is getting creepy.
Yeah.
Like, he has studied his fighting moves. He has done all of this stuff. And Lex, and that fits in perfectly with the comics where you have Lex Luthor, Man of Steel, where you have a panel, and Nicholas Hoult said it's one of the things that really inspired him, is you have Superman in the window, and then superimposed you have Lex's face up against the shield.
Also,
And so you have this guy who's just obsessed with him.
the fact that he is so obsessed with Superman, but yet he's still like he's finding people that Superman talks to threaten to kill. And he says, maybe I'll find that reporter you're always talking to, Clark
go
Kent.
there.
And but the fact that he still has no idea that Clark Kent is Superman.
Well, they keep some things to be explored later on, but they also solve a lot of things. Like, we already know Lois and Clark are together, and we already know that she knows he's Superman. But the Lex thing, that means they're going to start exploring that later on. I just wish that Gunn had left a little bit more things for other creatives to come in and explore. I don't like when you close doors on characters' story arcs that another couldn't revisit. And Zack Snyder did that a lot, and that's what bothered me most about his Superman arc. Is in Batman v Superman, they kill him immediately.
Yeah, that
and I
was
can't
wrong.
see that cannot happen for this Superman. That it needs to be like 5 or 6 movies down the road.
So 2 points really quick. One with Hawkgirl, I think what they're setting up is that she is part of the Justice Gang, and they're not the Justice League. This is not run by Superman. He just kind of like associates with them. I think you're going to see his influence play into these characters down the road, and he will kind of like soften that up. I do feel like she was the least used
Agree.
in this movie.
Oh,
Do
especially
her
'cause
wings
I-
retract?
What
by
does
the
she
way?
do?
I think her
I-
wings
She
retract.
screeches into a Ring doorbell.
I
Anyone bring
I do- I-
cinematography?
I do love Hawkgirl just because her comic book story. I just love her in
And
general.
the casting.
But I agree. Like they could have utilized her a lot more.
Yeah.
I just wish they cut characters so we got more of Lois and Clark. Like they were the magic of the movie. They brought the vibes that I think we all
those
wanted.
three, Lex.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wish they
I want
rather-
interaction with him and Lois.
Did you
like,
see
that would have been cool.
Did you see the David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan Entertainment Weekly video where it's like a charisma test, chemistry
Yeah.
Yes.
test? James Gunn is ruining marriages.
Guy Gardner. Can we just say Nathan Fillion rocks that bowl cut, and I'm so excited to see because he said it's a completely different character when he comes into Lanterns,
Yeah,
which
they're
will be
going
on
to go
HBO
based on the
Max.
tone of each project, which
Yeah.
I think is a smart idea.
Yeah, I do too.
You hated him.
Well, yeah, you're supposed to.
No, but like it felt like you're not ready for this, Nathan Fillion. Like I appreciate you, but you're not
He's
ready.
played Green Lantern like
the real
20
one.
times.
The real one.
Guy Gardner's a real Lantern.
He's a
just
real
not,
one?
The real one.
He's not.
Is the ship of Theseus not still the ship of
What
Theseus?
is going on here? I'm saying James Gunn overstuffed everything because that's all he can really do.
It is a stuffed.
Give us
movie.
heart. Don't give us a whole cast of characters. Give us a concise plot and show, don't tell. 'Cause
Doesn't he have to,
sorry.
though? Like, he was given such a big plate right at
This
the
is-
beginning.
He created this whole thing. It's his fault.
But if there is
But
someone who
would
can
bringing
do it,
Henry Cavill have made what this is any
no,
better?
He wanted a young Superman, and that's clear.
I don't think Henry Cavill would have worked either
He
age.
still looks
The
30.
tone is completely different.
And I love
I don't see
Cavill.
that Henry Cavill.
That's why a
being
different
that
director should have
Superman.
done this.
I don't know.
but is there
then that's
if there
connected to
is
the
a
previous
director who can
universe.
do this with many, many, many characters, it's James Gunn.
No, he didn't do it. Everyone walked up to the scene and they were like, I'm Mr. Terrific, and here's what I do. I'm Lois Lane, I'm a plucky reporter. And it's like, you're telling me you're not showing me anything. I'm Superman, I've been here for 3 years. I'm like, give us some history. You're only going off of maybe what we know from comics and previous movies. Kids today are gonna be like, do I have to watch that 50-year-old movie now? Right?
No.
And they should.
See, I don't-
This
And they
isn't a
should.
homework thing because they
Yeah.
haven't made any of those movies.
Yeah.
And that's
If-
part of the problem.
And he has
We're never
said-
going to know about them, I don't think.
And
But
Gunn has
they're
said
starting in the middle.
that each project moving forward will be its own thing. You don't have to watch all the previous. You don't have to see Peacemaker. You don't have to see Creature Commandos.
But he is
Hard
doing
disagree.
different.
There-
No, he said,
these
I want
things
to
will
connect
fit-
it to games. I want to connect it to comics. I want
yeah,
to.
they're already
and
dropping
it's a
that.
shared universe,
I-
much like you had the Long Halloween, and you also had all these different characters and all these different stories that all were completely standalone. But yet you still shared this universe, and that's what he's going
Pipe
for.
Dream.
Can he do
I love it.
We'll see.
He can't. And you know why? Because he's handcuffed. It's not just him. It's Warner Brothers.
Now, if he
They've
were-
already cut the games.
Well, no, they
No,
they
DC Studios
decisively
is
split
very
the two.
separate
Guys,
from
they
Warner
still
Brothers.
control
It's
the
him
money
and it's
comes from
Peter
somewhere.
Safran. Now, I think if he took more of a sidestep to Superman, focused on characters he was more interested in, because let's be real, he said himself, it's a hard character to crack, and
Yeah. Right.
it's one that it took a very long time for me to figure out. That being said, maybe someone might know how to figure it out a lot faster now and tell something else. I would love Christopher McQuarrie to come in.
Me too.
And do,
I would love it.
do the
Well,
next
could be
Superman.
very
Like,
interesting.
that could be a perfect add-in.
Oh, but
Yeah.
then he'd have to bring Tom Cruise.
And then
as
you get
Superman.
all the flashbacks.
Yeah,
You
it's
could
almost
spend an
Hal
hour
Jordan.
first doing that.
There's one thing I find so fascinating, I just thought of right now, is that Gunn has said he wants to do international characters and hire international directors to film those characters in their countries, in their native language.
Oh,
and so
fun.
he wants to do a Japanese superhero, and a Korean superhero, and a Brazilian superhero. Those are the three that he wants to focus on now.
That's so
and
many
they will speak
superheroes
in
for a
their
Brazilian of them.
that they will
Okay,
speak in their
President Bush.
language, and then when they cross over, they'll speak English. But
Okay.
it will be a Korean film made by a Korean filmmaker doing a Korean superhero, which I think could be really interesting.
But
and
that's
really
a
cool.
long ways down the road.
So
Like, I don't see people I don't see this movie opening up every door for DC.
It'll never happen.
It's
But
only
if you're
made people
making
go,
smaller
okay, I'll see
budget,
what you do next.
I think you can get away with
No,
it.
the problem is they don't have the Marvel money. They don't have the Marvel
goodwill yet.
credibility.
There's not goodwill for DC right now.
No, there's not. But
There's
I
a
do
little
think
now.
the one thing that's on the horizon is right at the end they introduce Supergirl.
Which we have
Okay,
not.
so like that segue. So
Exhibit A.
they introduce her as a drunk frat girl. She shows up. Crypto is her dog. We're in
Frat
spoilers.
girl?
She's a frat girl.
Well,
Is she
You
not?
are burning every bridge
I'm
with
just
Rebecca
curious
today.
to know
You
what
can
a
settle on
frat
alcohol,
girl
probably.
is.
She shows
Every
up.
ounce of goodwill you had with Rebecca.
Listen,
I'm just curious to
that's
know
all I
what
can
a
say.
frat girl is.
A drunk frat girl. I'm saying
how
it.
about
A sorority
one that does
sister?
not
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm a
teach
dummy.
its dog how to behave?
Listen,
Cut that, isolate it.
it's all right. But you know, it's just it is a different take on the character, and that's what I liked about it. Actually, it's not the Boy Scout. She is rambunctious. She has crypto. She's going to go on some adventures. So I'm curious to see where it goes from here. There we go.
That was a great introduction to
This
her.
book, written by Tom King, is going to be the basis for the Supergirl movie that comes out June 26th next year.
I believe so.
But they introduce it in this movie. In this book, she turns 21 and she goes to a planet with a red sun so that she can get drunk. Because on a planet with a yellow sun, they can't metabolize alcohol. And so she's not a frat girl
She's
overall.
dealing with a lot of trauma.
She's turning 21 and celebrating her birthday by going to planets and being drunk.
Her character is
And-
also a character that woke up a day after the destruction of everything.
Yeah, she
Wasn't
spent the
someone
first
raised through, so she's
14
probably super traumatized still.
She spent the first 14 years of her life watching people that were on the piece of rock from Krypton around her die, and she's eventually the only one left.
But do you see how this is? I can see how this is a problem, though, with how James Gunn did this Jor-El thing. So she's been here the whole time. She didn't want to mention to Superman, hey, your dad
No,
kind of
she's
wants
out
to
and about.
enslave everybody.
He's kind of a
She's
jerk.
out and about.
No, she hadn't watched the dog for a
young.
week.
and he didn't want to ask her anything when she crashed in. And be like, you have no idea what I've just been through. Like, what? Why is that happening?
Here's the good thing. There's a new director taking on Supergirl. So I'm all about it. I think that there will actually be a good tone.
Yes.
to it.
And I think with the Jor-El thing, I really do think there is going to be a lot more to this, and this was just the
I don't think-
first
I could be
piece.
right.
And I think it's
they
going to
made
get
the choice
revealed
and that's the
throughout.
end.
That's why I think a sequel to Superman is going to be a lot better than this first Superman movie, because like they just laid the groundwork for a universe that I would like to see more of, and I think James Gunn, if he returns to direct the sequel, will spend more time fleshing out everything rather than using this opportunity to just introduce us to the world.
Right. Now, this James Gunn isms, right? There's a term for that, where now when anything is serious, it gets quickly undercut by a cheap joke.
Sure.
That, to me, felt very prominent at the end with his speech to Lex, which was so good and so moving, and the minute Crypto came in, undercut
With his
And
whole
did
moment.
no
Everything.
wrong.
Oh, he's a good boy. But they never tell him
But it
that.
was
They
the-
all call him a bad dog.
Yeah. He could have
Which,
killed him.
shame on you, James Gunn.
Well, there was a scene, and I wish they would have left this in. There was a scene where someone punched Crypto,
Yes.
and he had to cut it.
Ultimate,
And
Audiences hated
before this movie came out, I was telling everybody they're hyping up Crypto so much so that when they kick him, it's gonna hurt more. And I so wish they would have left it in.
Let a villain be a villain.
Let a villain
right?
be a villain.
Yeah.
Pick the
Let them be
puppy.
villains still. Oh my God. I don't know if I can't endorse that.
He would have been fine.
But were there any others that you felt were like sincere in that he earned that moment?
Two moments. When the young boy raises the flag
That gives me
and
goosebumps and
cries
tears.
out for Superman, I teared up. And then the second part, when Gary, robot number 4, asks if he wants him to play the soothing voice of his parents.
That
and
ending.
he hears Pa Kent, and we get this montage of him as a kid, and you get
And then you get the
Punk
Glam
Rocker
Bot
by the
360
Teddy Bears.
shot.
This,
You
the
hated it?
80s
Here's the thing.
You hated
the
it?
moment was great. Home videos are great, and I like the sentiment.
I don't
but
like
it's
how it was shot.
But here's the thing. Why James Gunn? He's like pop music. I got nothing else.
But it was his
pop
only,
music.
But it was his
Well, and
only
it's the
needle
exact
drop.
same ending as Guardians.
It's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ends with the
It was his
song
only needle drop, which I liked.
There's
Two.
There is one other, that's right.
Yeah, the best scenes in the
but that
movie.
one was a really good needle drop, especially for end credits.
Well,
I was
it's cheap.
And
I felt like that one fit so well. I'm good with it.
Here's the
It
thing:
would've been fine.
we've seen James Gunn actually do the exact same thing that he's doing with Jor-El and Clark, and that happened in Guardians 2 with Kurt Russell
Yes.
and Star-Lord. It's the exact same blueprint,
My God,
and
his
that's where I'm
daddy
like,
issues.
it's a little bit, and like I love my country dad, like the Southern accent. I like that one more.
That's the theme of
It's
the
the
movie.
exact
I like
same
my
thing,
country dad.
where I'm a little bit like, and the scene with Yondu with the thing flying around. It's very reminiscent of what's happening with Mr. Terrific scene.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that just feels so connected to Gunn, but I was okay
But
with
how
some
often
of it.
do we say that's Wes Anderson isms? That is a Scorsese-ism. Like, if you are a director who is successful, you're going to repeat yourself sometimes. There's things that you're just going to do that either you like it or you don't.
Yeah, that's true.
And would you say you're a James Gunn fan?
No.
And that might be the,
Okay,
that might
well,
be the
here we
crux.
go.
Guys, it's all right. He's just a guy.
The cinematography really bugs me.
From the
First,
cinematographer of The
was
Flash.
awful.
Yeah.
I hated the cinematography. I don't like when it seems like it's a robot crane doing very fast 360 shots.
Oh, I like it.
Like, to me, it feels like you jumped on the Glambot 360 like selfie video thing for stuff. And it's like anyone could just put the crane on the robot and move it, and
Yeah.
it doesn't fly with me.
There was a scene of magic, and it's when the whole building fell, and he saved that one woman, and he's rising. Superman is rising above, in the smoke, and I was like, "That's the money shot right there."
That was a great shot.
The line for me is when Lois is telling him, "You look at everyone like they're beautiful," and he says, "Maybe that's the real punk rock."
The best moment of the entire movie, we can all agree, is that first conversation with Lois and Clark.
Very good.
That is what made me sold on those
Yeah.
characters and where I wanted to see the story
And that
go.
was the
But
first
then
thing
they
they
didn't
shot.
give them any more of those.
Yeah.
They gave them one little one, but it was undercut by a joke in the background
Yes.
with Green Lantern, Hawk Girl, trying to fight this big blobbing. It was hilarious.
dimensional
But,
That was later.
but I was so no, it was mid that conversation.
Oh, that
Yeah,
specific.
fifth-
That was the one where I
dimensional.
think she says that. We're like, you,
Yeah, that is.
see the
Yeah.
good in
I thought you were talking
everybody.
about the
Yeah.
first interview
But
scene.
I just wish there was a little bit more. And next time I want Clark as a journalist. I want him doing
I agree.
journalist things.
Yeah.
Whereas here he's trying to be a journalist.
That Baravia guy flies off like 2 miles over into like this beach, and no one wants to go and follow up.
Fine.
Or be
No,
like,
no
hey,
U.S. tracking.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Like I said, there's so much heart and there's so much hope and there's so much humanity in this and so
Yep.
much fun. I am okay with all of those
It does
things.
help you. Yeah, it makes it
It's,
go
and
down.
and it's a superhero genre. If we're talking about a grounded film like a Batman, the Batman, or a Christopher Reeve's Batman, then I'm much more critical about those things. When you have giant alien eyeballs coming out of the sky and attacking in the background, and Superman's like, they got it. Like I can let things roll.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to add for this one?
I think we've.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm feeling good. More confirmed.
Hands first. I should have.
So if I got to learn what a frat is.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't it be? That's not for females, isn't it? Something else.
Sorority.
Sorority. Yeah.
That's why I was giving him a hard time.
Rightly so.
Well, I'm the dumb one that didn't get it until just
you.
now.
Okay, you guys didn't go to college, and it shows.
I was following you. I knew what he was thinking, but then I was like, I'm going to let
Thanks,
Rebecca
Tracy.
do this one.
So we are the Ma and Pa Kent of this show. All right. Well, that was our spoiler review of Superman. Let us know what you guys thought and what we didn't add, maybe some things that we didn't notice, any Easter eggs that are happening in the Hall of Justice. Please leave a comment down below. Thank you again, as always, for watching, and we will see you at the next review.